back to my channel. I hate long intros, so we're going to get right into it. Today I'm going to show you how to make a ribbed band for a hat. This will be hats that are crocheted from the bottom up. I had a little bit of trouble with this one, which is why I didn't ever really do it. Well, until now. So I figured that if I had trouble with this, and I've been crocheting for almost 20 years, maybe you also struggle with that. So here we go. You will need some yarn and a crochet hook, maybe a tapestry needle or a yarn needle if you want to. I am going to use Red Heart Super Saver in Heather Gray or Gray Heather. I never actually remember which way that goes, but that's the one that I have. And I am using an I or a 5.5 millimeter hook. Normally I would use an H hook or a 5 millimeter hook, but you can use whatever you want and whatever hook that works with that yarn. If you are a beginner and you need more structured instructions, just get some 4-ply worsted weight yarn, whatever is available to you, and use an H hook or a 5 millimeter hook. If you have skinnier yarn, I would go down to a G hook. I don't off the top of my head know what millimeter that is, but just get one of those. And that should work just fine. If you are comfortable going off script, just use whatever you want, because there are no rules here, so you can do whatever. So we are going to start off with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 8. This is the part where you can make adjustments. If you want to make the band thicker or thinner, you would adjust it here. So if you want a skinnier band, maybe do a chain of 6. And if you want a thicker band, maybe do 10, 11, or 12. It doesn't have to be an even number. Like I said, there are no rules here. You can do whatever you want. So we are going to single crochet in what I call the chain bumps. Those are the back bumps of your chain. We're just going to do 8 single crochets all the way across. I like to crochet into the chain bumps because when you're joining, especially for a project like this, it is much easier to join when you have both of the loops on the other side when you're joining. You don't have to do that because, like I said, there are no rules. So you're going to single crochet all the way across for 8 single crochets. So now that we're done with the first row, I am going to just tighten up this first chain here, and we are going to get ready for the second row. So we're going to chain 1. This first chain 1 counts as 1 stitch. That will always be 1. And then we are going to single crochet in the back loop only all the way across. So your chain 1 counts as your first stitch, and then you're just going to continue on in the back loop only. And you will single crochet 8 stitches total with the chain 1 counting as stitch 1. Alright, let's do one more row before I start talking about sizing. Don't forget that your chain 1 is stitch 1, and we are just going to go 8 stitches across. That just makes everything much easier. So don't forget, it's just right there, and be careful not to put your second single crochet in the chain space, because then you'll end up with a wonky shaped band, and we don't want that because then we have to frog it. Alright, so as far as sizing goes, because now that we've got the width that you want, we have to make it long enough to go around a head. For me, most of my hats are between 50 and 60 stitches around because I typically make them from top to bottom. But because we're working from bottom to top, this should be between 50 and 60 rows long, and then you'll connect. So for me, this one that I am making now will be 60 rows. But if you would prefer measurements over stitch count, get your fabric measuring tape, and you'll want to, before we join, lightly stretch your band and measure about 18.5 or so inches, and that will be for an average adult, but you can adjust based on head size, but just remember to lightly stretch it when you measure it. So once you get into the rhythm of your 8 stitches in the back loops and then turn and all of that, everything is pretty mindless, until you get to your last row. So this part of the project is pretty easy, it's pretty mindless, and you can just sit and listen to your true crime podcast or watch TV or whatever. That's what I do. I don't listen to podcasts, but I do watch true crime sometimes. So we're just going to continue on. I am going to get to 60 rows, and then we can meet back and do the join, which is the part that I had the most trouble with, which is why we have this video now, because that was a big struggle point for me. And I'm back. So I did a few more rows and I just wanted to show you, that it is pretty stretchy. I like that about the ribbed band, but I wanted to show you the edge, that it doesn't look all crazy like it did the first couple of rows. So it does sort of flatten out and look, a little bit better. It's not all crazy like it was, and it doesn't look super confusing like it did the first like 2, 3, 4 rows. So it does kind of flatten out, and I just wanted to show that. And now that I have my band all done, all 60 rows, I am going to take the opposite side and line it up. So make sure all of your stitches are lined up. I am going to put my hook through the opposite side to join, and then I'm going to pull the ending loop right through and slip stitch. Just ignore the tail for now. We can hide it later. Okay, we're going to pause really quick here. It got a little confusing when I was explaining it. So the end that is closest to your body is called the bottom, and the end that is farthest away from your body will be the top. So how we're going to join this is we are going to take the back loop from the bottom panel and the front loop from the top panel, and we're going to slip stitch them together. So that seems confusing, but it is going to create a ridge just like we have with the back loops before. So you're going to go, just to reiterate, the bottom panel we are going to take the back loop, and the top panel we are going to take the front loop, and that will give us a nice little, I call them peaks. So that will hide your join or your seam, whatever you want to call it. So it'll just blend in, and then it won't look wonky with having a huge noticeable seam. And your tail, I am just going to hide mine, and I am not going to sew it. I'm just going to pull it through with my crochet hook. I do the 3, so you go one direction and then turn, so it's 3 different directions. It is a small tail. Maybe you leave a larger tail next time. I don't know. I didn't have any problem with it. It's all tucked in for me. So now we are going to leave a nice little border because I don't like guessing with these personally. So we are going to single crochet all the way around, and I will show you how, so you don't get all donked up trying to figure out where the stitches go. So we are going to chain 1 and then go right in the stitch right next to the chain 1, and that will be your first stitch. And then we're going to go between the stitches. There will be like a little noticeable hole, and then we are going to single crochet right through the middle of the next stitch. It looks a little weird, but that's where it goes. So you're basically going through the hole and then through a stitch. You can pick up 1 loop or 2, it doesn't really matter. But this whole row of single crochet will give you a nice clean foundation to start building the rest of your hat onto. So you won't have to worry about trying to figure out where stitches go, because it gets a little complicated, especially when you do much more complicated stitches. It's hard to see, and then with the stitch count it gets really confusing really fast. So this way it'll just give you a clean line with easy to see stitches to build your hat on. This is also a great place if you end up with a wonky stitch count. You can kind of fit other stitches between here, so if you end up, you've dropped a stitch, or you actually need to have, I don't know, 63 instead of 60, you can very easily just hide extra stitches right in this row, and it won't look super weird. It'll be pretty much unnoticeable unless you have to add a lot of them, and then you're going to get like an oversized Tim type of style hat instead of a beanie, so just keep that in mind when you're adjusting. But otherwise, this will give you a clean, clear way to build your hat on top of this band. And when you get to the end, it's going to look like you missed a stitch, but it's actually where your chain 1 is, so don't worry, you didn't miss a stitch. If you do need to add another stitch, you can place it right there, but otherwise just join right at the top of your first single crochet, not through your chain 1. And that's pretty much it. You can cut the yarn here and join a new one. Don't forget to tie in your tail, just like that. And you can cut the yarn, add new yarn, maybe even leave it as a headband. There are no rules here, so you do whatever you want. Let me know if you use this. I hope you use it and make beautiful, beautiful hats. I would love to see them. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope I didn't ramble too much. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell button to be notified when I upload next. And thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!